Hey guys, give me 1 second. Go ahead, 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. Had to start a little bit kind of rocky there. Shout out to everybody. Oh my god, Twinkle Tits McGee. I did not know you were so famous on YouTube. Guys, I was on Popcorn Planet. Shout out to Popcorn Planet, one of my favorite channels. Okay. And Twinkle Tits got they got shouted out a couple times. Shout out to you, Twinkle Tits. Thank you for joining. Very much love that you're here. I always love it when we have subscribers that are well known in other platforms. That's kind of nice. So you guys, we are Twinkle Tits is very well known on YouTube. You know, if Andy from Popcorn Planet knows you, that's huge. That's huge, my friend. That's huge. But yes, shout out to everybody in the chat as you're coming in. Brianne, thank you. And it's okay if you can't, my love. Don't worry about it. Dukes is in the house. Nicole Bryant is in the house. Daisy. Hey, Vic. Welcome. Perfect timing. Absolutely. Read this. Daisy, my member as well. Oh my gosh. Yes. Hit the like button while you're in the house. Ebony. Shout out to everybody. I'm going to the chat. Thank you. Oh, absolutely, yo. You guys, Twinkle Tits is famous on YouTube. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Been thinking about you. Loving my new criminal law paralegal job in S. Okay. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Criminology. There you go. All those criminology majors. My undergraduate is in criminology. So, to give you guys an idea, criminology, and then I have a minor in social science. Okay. So yes, criminology is definitely my thing. Loved it when I was in school, of course, and then everything else that followed after. Hey Samantha, welcome, my mod. Shout out to you, Daisy. Okay, do the right thing as you're coming in. Please hit that like button. And yes, drop your flags. Where are you from? What side of the world? Okay, let us know what state. I know we have a lot of. First of all, I know Texas is all over my channel. Shout out to everybody from Texas. Okay, then we have Florida. And then we have Minnesota is another state that's always here. Okay, shout out to them. I have the UK that's always in the house as well. Shout out to the UK. I have 84 people here, and someone liked it on Facebook. And I bet that's probably Belinda. Belinda, shout out to you. You are always sharing my stuff. James says he's from Delaware. Period. Point blank. Let me see this real quick. Mystical Magnolias. Did you change your name to Diamond Cutter? And shout out to Diamond Cutter. I don't see. Oh, there she is. Diamond Cutter's in here. Shout out to you. I was like, where's Diamond Cutter? Because I know she's my member. Shout out to you. How are you doing? Oh my gosh, you guys. Shout out to everybody as you're coming in. Yes, you lived in California and now in Florida on and off. Alabama. Canada. That's right. Canada. Okay, so Canada is currently negative 42. Oh, okay. Well, damn. Canada, you guys better stay warm because negative 42 is definitely no freaking joke. I mean, that's just like a whole different, that's just like offensively cold. Okay. Like, not only are you cold, you're offensively cold. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I said. No way. Wisconsin, Iowa, Georgia. Yes. Shout out to everybody from Georgia. Yes. Yes. Oh my God. Wisconsin in the house. Oregon. Oh my God. Okay, so I've counted like at least 5 people from Georgia. Look at this, Georgia, Georgia. And then we have Georgia here. And then let me see who else. Who else? Anybody else from Georgia? Nana is Texas. We already know. Shout out to Nana. Nana Tessa. Yes. Oh my God. You're crying about okay, well, Canada is 42 right now, Kiva. Shout out to come get this commentary. You guys listen, we cannot complain in the United States. Canada has beat us at this point. They're negative 42. Okay. That is offensively cold. Offensively. Texas. Yes. Cali. Rhode Island. Cali. I know I saw Carol here, and she is, I just missed your comment, my love. Washington State, Ontario. Oh my gosh, shout out to everybody from Canada, all my Canadians. Um, I'm gonna say something real quick. as it pertains to the Canadians. I used to watch a lot of Canadian TV when I was growing up. I don't know why. I think it was the only thing we could afford because we couldn't afford um um I don't know, cable TV. So Canadian, for whatever reason, we would get Canadian TV, and I think it was like through the public service channels and stuff like that. I mean, that's just how you do it, you know? Oh, Twinkle Tits, let's get the donation. Oh, much love to you. Shout out, like I said, we have a celebrity here, okay? Twinkle Tits McGee not only has the best name on YouTube, but is well known in various platforms. Thank you, my love. Thank you. Yes, do not complain about it being 32, negative 32, because Canada has it negative 42. You can't eat, it hurts to breathe. Okay, Texas. Shout out to Tasha. We got you're like the seventh, eighth person from Texas in this chat. 112 people here. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Yes, PBS is your channel, you're thinking. Right. It was something like I used to watch, I don't know, some type of show. It was from Canada, but they would show it on like PBS. You know, when you don't have cable, you didn't grow up with cable, this is the kind of stuff that would happen. But anyways, let me get back on to the program. Yes, let me get back to the program. Shout out to you guys. Okay. So it's a lot been going on. I'm looking at the poll right now. We have 85 votes on the topic. I'm going to refresh real quick, but it's looking like we might start with Shanquella and the Nancy Grace podcast at 70% right now for us to start. And then followed by the Idaho 4 and the White Elantra Car. Has it been found? Has it not been found? Well, we're going to get there, okay? And then the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard settlement. Okay, that was another one. Which, you know, I my channel hasn't really touched that topic too much. I've been very careful about it because I don't want a bunch of bots here from hired from other bots that come and then they troll you, because that's what happens when you cover that case, unfortunately. But let's go ahead and get to this podcast. Shout out to the content creators that have been covering this. Did you mention Nancy Grace? Because you're serious, that damn humble, or you're not? That's supposed to like, yo, grosses. Well, I think Nancy Grace has been doing a good job here. Shout out to Nancy Grace. Amber Poo Poo. Look at you guys are going in the comments. Oh my gosh. But let me know what you guys think. So, Nancy Grace had revisiting this case. She wants to know why there hasn't been an arrest in the Shanquella Robinson case. Okay. I think we all want to know that, right? Rightfully so. We all want to know what's up, what's the next status. There's one thing we don't have is information. And what we don't want to see happen, and again, because the family has asked this of us, okay? The family has asked us to keep her name alive, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So shout out to those content creators that continue to cover Shanquella Robinson in the most respectful way, in the way in which brings dignity to her life, to her family, that doesn't degrade her name or her family, that they don't drag her. Shout out to those ones, okay? So let me go ahead and play this Nancy Grace podcast. And we're only going to play snippets of it. There's been other great creators that have been covering the whole thing. Danny Robertson, Sean Davy Way, you guys check them out as well. But let's go ahead and just get into it.
She's beautiful. She's smart. She is finishing up her business degree at school. She has a loving, loving family. So how does this beautiful girl, she's 25, Shanquella, end up dead at a luxury resort in Mexico? Okay, try to put the words "in Mexico" out of your head, because the crime that's happening right now is not her murder in Mexico. It's happening right here.
I love that she said that. The crime is happening right here. Get this out of your head that it's Mexico, right? And I think that that is such an accurate statement. The fact that these individuals have been able to walk, act like nothing's happened, disconnect from social media, move around from place to place that we know of, okay, and not have to respond to what is going on. I don't know. What do you guys think in general? Let me know in the chat about it, because I do feel like that is a crime, that they've been able to essentially get away with this and there's been no arrests.
Right here, I believe, in North Carolina. where the perps are hiding out. That's what's wrong today. We here in the U.S. are doing nothing to get justice in the murder of this 25-year-old beauty. And when I say beauty, I mean beauty on the inside and the out. You know how hard that is to find somebody who's really gorgeous on the outside and on the inside, they're just as gorgeous. Okay. Why is the mother, Shanquella's mother, why did she have to send her other daughter to be with us today? Because she is so upset she can barely speak. Why are we dropping the ball? Why don't we just go up to Lady Justice and rip away her shield and take her sword and put it in the Dixie dumpster? We are not seeking justice for this girl. And it will be a day that hell freezes over that I stop seeking justice for Shanquella Robinson. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us here at Fox Nation and Sirius XM 111. You know how many times I have said to a jury, let me go to you, Kathleen Murphy with me, high-profile lawyer, joining me out of North Carolina at ncdomesticlaw.com. How many times have I said to a jury, Kathleen, I'm bringing you all this evidence. What do you want? A video? Well, in this case, we have a video. Because not only did her girlfriends that she went away to this luxe vacation just down a hop, skip, and jump down the road from where Jennifer Aniston hangs out in Cabo all the time. Right down from that.
I'm going to trial today and I have a video.
Yeah, this girl is being murdered in her luxury suite bedroom, being beaten dead by one of her friend girls, and another person is videoing it.
I really want us to get it, and I've said it before. I wish that people would stop calling these people friends because they were not her friends. No way in hell would a friend like. I hate that word that's being used to label them. Especially knowing what they've taken part of, and feeling like this was definitely premeditated to a certain degree, in what they've done. And this is just my opinion. They paid the doctor off to lie for them, so they could have fly out of there without any questions. In my opinion, Peekaboo, you're not the only one that has said that. Thank you, Danny Robertson. And again, Danny Robertson, Truth Teller Danny, is the channel that you want to go to find out all the latest on this case, because she's been right on it. All right, do not get it confused. Oh my God, look who we have in the house. Shout out to the Glare. The Glare says, I mean, they filmed it. They did. What else do they need, Glare? What else do they need? Glare, have you been following this case? You really should get into this one here, because the family definitely needs people and voices on this case, and I would love to hear your perspective on this one. Man, I think you would bring a good one too. Shout out to you. Yes, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Mm-mm-mm. Friends don't do that to you. Absolutely, Ebony Eyes. Friends do not do that to you. I hope they don't get deported. I hope they don't get deported to go to jail in Mexico. I trust U.S. jails more than the ones in Mexico. That's not saying much, but I feel like we could lose track of them. That's a good point. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let's keep playing.
He is dead. And there's a video, Kathleen.
I cried when I saw that video. I posted on my personal Facebook page. But Nancy, my question is, did these folks plan this crime that occurred in Mexico, in the United States? And if so, why are they not arrested right now for planning that crime, even though it occurred in the United States?
Okay, as I often say, Kathleen Murphy, I don't know if they taught you this in law school. I learned it in the courtroom. Screw them and the horse they rode in on. All right? I don't care if they planned it here, planned it in the hall, planned it in the doorway as they walked in her bedroom. She is dead.
Screw them and the horse they rode in. She is dead. Chat, do you feel like this was premeditated? Put it in the chat. Let me know. What do you guys think? Guys, put it in the chat. Was this premeditated in your opinion? Let me know. Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Absolutely. I can't. She's hit or miss for me. She's all right sometimes, sometimes. Okay, everybody, look. Mata's saying yes. She feels like it was premeditated. Yes. Daisy, Karma saying yes. Blunt and on the point. Absolutely. Okay. Shout out to Ramona. Ramona, shout out to you. I see you in the chat. Yes, yes. You guys feel like Candy says yes. Premeditated. Yes, definitely premeditated. Yeah, okay. Yes, they seem jealous of her. All right, all right. I just want to make sure all your guys' voices are heard here. Ramona says yes. All right. Okay, you're not. Chatty Cathy says, look, I'm not sure yet, and that's okay. And that's okay because some people are still on the fence about this, and that's absolutely fine. Yes. All right. Okay, let's keep watching and let's keep playing.
Because of a break to her spine. And you see in the video them waking, she doesn't have on any clothes. She sleeps without any clothes on. She's getting out of bed and they start beating her and hitting her in the head. And to you, Dr. Tim Gallagher, medical examiner, state of Georgia at pathcaremed.com, Dr. Gallagher, a medical examiner, has told me, in fact, I think it was you, that those blows to the head you see on the video, they think it's funny. They're videoing killing the girl. That in one of those videos, part of it, you see her head go down like to the right with such force, she never gets up off the floor, off sitting on the carpet again. She dies right there. Did you see the beating in the video, Dr. Gallagher?
I did, and at that point it looked like her spine was broken or her neck was broken. So it appeared as though the cervical vertebral column was dislocated from the skull itself. So in that, we call that an internal decapitation, but it was a violent blow and it was a violent outcome, and it was just absolutely sad and no reason for it. That brought about her instantaneous demise.
Okay, right there. There's another cover up because according to police, she died 3 hours later. That did not happen. If you look at the actual.
That's right on point. That's another cover up, right? The force. A lot of you guys said yes, it was premeditated. I definitely feel like, and it wasn't stopped, it kept going. The friend didn't help her, he kept filming. We don't even know exactly how many people were in the room. We're assuming that it was probably this person, maybe 2 or 3 people, but we actually do not really know how many, right? And we probably, I wish we can get more information and more reports. May not have been premeditated, but the lies afterwards, the medical, family, and other was most intentional and point to even more guilt than just an accident. I definitely do not believe, in my opinion, hey Mel Mac, that this was an accident. It stopped being an accident. I think it stopped being an accident after way before that. Because I think about, one thing that is very, and I can't get out of my head. I'm going to tell you what, I can't get this image out of my head. When he says, Quilla, are you going to fight back? And she's there on her knees and she says, no. Quilla, are you going to fight back? No. That was it for me. That's when I said, this isn't an accident. This isn't an accident. That videotape was that video was very heartbreaking, but especially when the friend, this word that we're using, Quilla, are you going to fight back? Can you fight back? Can you at least fight back? It was something to that effect. It was the way in which he said her name. Quilla, can you at least fight back? And she's on her knees and she says, no. No. I said, damn, man, now that right there is not an accident. That right there was intentional. Crazy, guys. Let's go.
Death certificate, which I have right here in front of me. She died after just 15 minutes max. I don't know why the cops are saying 3 hours later, but I need to catch a lot of people up. I want to tell you with me a very special guest today. Quilla, thank you for being with us. This is Shanquella's sister. What is your sister's nickname? I know you did not call her Shanquella all the time.
I called her Gotti.
Say what?
My nickname to her was Gotti. Godget, Gotti.
I kind of hate that you're hearing everything we're talking about, like cause of death and the internal decapitation, which means when your head is severed from the rest of your spine, but the skin is still in place.
God,
so inside in your spine, you've been decapitated, but your head is still sitting on your body. Everybody, I want you to hear our friends at ABC Listen.
That Friday evening, she seemed very excited about the trip, And she said she was getting ready to eat some tacos. They had a chef there. And I said, okay, love you. I will talk to you tomorrow. Enjoy yourself. And I never spoke with my child again.
Not even 24 hours after her daughter landed in paradise, Salamandra says she got a worrying call from one of the friends who told her Shanquella wasn't feeling well.
And I said, well, what's wrong with it? And he said, alcohol poisoning. I didn't know what alcohol poisoning was, But he said, the doctor is on the way. And I said, well, how you know alcohol poisoning if the doctor haven't arrived yet?
You're hearing right there who I now consider to be a friend. This is Shanquella's mom speaking to us. That's Salamandra Robinson talking. Dr. Tim Gallagher with me, high-profile medical examiner out of Florida. You can find him at pathcaremed.com. And aside all of his education, catch this, he created the International Forensic Medicine Death Investigation Conference. He lives and breathes cause of death.
Wow.
So I guess you can see the vast dichotomy between what the medical examiner says. She died 15 minutes after essentially, as you described, an internal decapitation, and all the friends telling the mom on the phone it was alcohol poisoning, as if it was Shanquella's fault that she is dead. That shows she drank too much, she's dead. Did they really think we were going to believe that?
Well, Nancy, I mean, I guess in desperation, they would try any excuses better than none, but I don't really understand how they thought they would get away with it and without an autopsy being performed. This is definitely magical thinking on their part, and she exhibited no signs of alcohol intoxication during the video.
None at all.
Right.
That's a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Tim Gallagher. And guys, I don't know if our station can play the video while we're talking, but there were several times in the video I had to just stop watching it because the video is so violent. So I want to find out, to you, Quilla Long, this is Shanquella's sister, who are these women in the video? And there's a guy there too, right? Supposedly her best friend, her friend boy. I mean, a guy is not a boyfriend, but it's her friend.
We don't know the females. We just know him personally. The other set of people are actually people who she went to college with.
Okay, guys, I went to college with. All right. Joe Bruno is about to join me from WSOC.
She went to college with them, right? To just establish how close of a relationship, right, that she had, or at least we all thought I'm sure the family feels the same way, right? These are people that she went to college with.
TV, and he is joining me, I hope, with some kind of an update on why these friends have not landed their rear ends behind bars. Take a listen to our friends at ABC.
Salamandra again says she confronted one of the friends who lived nearby.
They say Shanquella didn't die from the alcohol poisoning. They say she had been beating her neck. He broke out in a sweat, and he came out his shirt. He was sweating so bad, it's like it was eating him up.
But soon, another punch in the gut. Graphic cell phone footage leaked online appearing to show Shanquella naked, physically assaulted by another woman, while others appeared to watch on, even encourage it.
Quilla, can you at least fight back?
All six of them had an opportunity to stop that situation. Neither one of them didn't do nothing about it. Who gave them the right to take a life?
You're hearing the mom and dad speaking to our friends at ABC.
And of course, you have to have the commercials.
Joe Bruno joining me right now, reporter WSOC TV. Joe, thank you for being with us. Who are these women? They're on video. It would be a simple matter of seeing who registered at the hotel. I mean, Irv Brandt joining me, guys, former U.S. Marshal Service, International Investigation, also a DOJ, also author of Solo Shot, Curse of the Blue Stone, hits Amazon January, author of Flying Solo, Top of the World. Irv, when you check into a hotel in another country, including Mexico, you have to show your passport and all your ID.
Sure do.
They don't let you just walk in and run to your room and raid the minibar. So this has got to be on record, right?
That's correct, Nancy. I'm confident the Mexican authorities have those people's passport information and also identified them and know their location in the United States. It's now a matter of going through the extradition process to bring them back to Mexico.
How the heck did they leave the country to start with? Irv Brandt, the medical examiner, says she did not die of alcohol poisoning. She died of basically internal decapitation.
Right.
Her head was disconnected from her body, and then they hop on a plane and take off?
Yes, it's actually that simple.
Pretty much, right? They did what they did, and then they left. They didn't even They went back and they talked to the family, gave them some sob story. She died of alcohol poisoning. Matter of fact, when they were in Mexico, they were saying, well, she's not feeling well. She's not responding. They think it's alcohol poisoning. And then that's the story that they stuck with up until they found the video. And thank you, Dukes, for reminding me. Thank you so much. It's the way Nancy laying it out like she does. LOL. She does, right. I mean, she's just kind of giving it to us. I take it they're Jen, we're still waiting. And there has been no arrest. That we have noted. People have continued to run that narrative, and we haven't seen anything yet. We have not seen anything yet, right? So I guess it's to be determined, and we'll see kind of what comes about this, right? At this point, I'm curious to know what are the next steps? What is going to happen next for this situation? Let's keep playing.
They obviously left while the investigation was ongoing. But now that it has been ruled a homicide and not an accidental death or death by alcohol poisoning, they can start the process to bring those people back to the country of Mexico.
I don't know why they let them leave to start with.
Exactly.
That said, now we've got to get them back. Joe Bruno joining me, WSOC TV. Joe, what's happening and why?
Nancy, these friends who were on the trip with Shanquella, most have since deactivated their social media accounts. Many have changed their phone numbers. And I have been to the homes of 5 of the 6 of them, addresses associated with these people on the trip, and they are no longer there.
You mean they no longer live there, or they're hiding out?
They are either not answering, or neighbors have not seen them in weeks.
Okay, you know what? Dr. Bethany Marshall, psychoanalyst, joining me out of LA at drbethanymarshall.com. Dr. Bethany, there's nothing that screams, I did it, more than deactivating all your social and changing your cell number.
And just disappearing. Nancy, can you imagine going on a trip out of the country with a friend? That friend is sick or dies, and you flee? I mean, that speaks volumes. Even if there was no video, you have so-called friends who leave somebody in an ambulance. I mean, just picture.
Yeah, I think they're in hiding. I mean, they're not. I don't know. That situation is a little bit weird. And we have 176, or actually, I see 180 in our chat. Make sure you hit that like button, please, and thank you. I see them as massive flight risks. That's why I don't trust them being deported. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. This is good to see Quella getting the attention that she deserves. Absolutely. And hopefully it continues to happen that way. Melmac says, I just wonder if it was premeditated, if someone had a life insurance policy on her and she wasn't aware of. That's interesting. I never even thought about that.
For that for a second. I mean, that is so profound. Then they go back to their mommy's homes. Then they deactivate everything. No wonder the one friend was sweating profusely when he came to Shanquella's family to confess what had happened. He wasn't sweating because he was so anxious about what happened to her. He knows he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail, Nancy. And, again, even if there was no video, these friends were plotting this. This does not happen like in a blink of an eye in the spur of the moment. These friends were probably deriding Shanquella, saying horrible things about her, taking unflattering photographs, maybe not consciously planning to kill her, but at some sort of pre-conscious level, the attack was being planned. And I think that's what's so, horrible about this is she was sort of like the lamb to the slaughter. She had no idea. She called her mom and said she was about to eat tacos. She was having the happiest moments with new friends. I mean, if you ever hung out with new friends, it's so exciting to be with them and to get to know new people. And these new people were plotting against her all the while.
What do we know about arrest warrants coming out of Mexico? Take a listen to our cut 43. This is Megan Bragg, WCNC.
This is the article that has been circulating on social media. It claims that there has been an arrest in the Shanquella Robinson case, but we wanted to walk you through the article because there are some red flags here. When someone reports and shares claims that are not verified, this is how misinformation spreads. First, the headline suggests DeHaan Jackson was arrested in the United States. As of now, Mexican authorities have not publicly even named a suspect. They have issued arrest warrants, but have...
Who wrote the article? You guys remember? Put it in the chat. Who wrote the article? If you guys want to tomato him, that's fine. Put it in the chat. Who wrote the article? Because now this has made it to Nancy's graces at this point. Who wrote the article that they're talking about right now? Tomatoing? You guys are tomatoing now.
haven't said who the warrants are for.
Okay, straight back to Joe Bruno joining us from WSOC. I heard the rumors and my cell phone blew up that there had been an arrest in Shanquella Robinson's homicide. Then quickly I learned that wasn't true. What do we know about any arrests or arrest warrants which would come out of Mexico?
Right. And I've talked to the FBI, U.S. Marshals, as well as the State Attorney General's office in Mexico. All tell me they do not have any information about an arrest being made. However, it is confirmed that an arrest warrant has been issued by the State Attorney General in Baja California Sur, where Cabo is. But like that report said, they have not identified the person by name. They have just said this is for the direct attacker in this instance.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. A prosecutor for Baja California Sur states that a friend of Robinson's, quote, who is the direct aggressor, which I take to mean the woman beating her in the head in the video, is being sought by international authorities on charges of femicide. Charges of femicide. Now, femicide, to my understanding, in Mexico is the way they describe the murder of a female. What is that, Joe Bruno?
Certainly. The femicide is basically when a female is murdered. They look at whether she was killed for reasons due to her gender or perhaps it was due to domestic violence.
Exactly.
Oftentimes when a woman is killed in Mexico, the case starts as femicide, and once they investigate, if they determine those aren't the factors, then it gets recategorized to a homicide. So it's essentially a type of homicide investigation by local authorities.
Take a listen to Hour Cut 46 from Newsy.
Mexican prosecutors have said the suspect is an American and the charges are femicide. Mexican prosecutors said in a statement, Robinson's death was the result of a, quote, direct attack, not an accident.
Here's the problem so that everybody understands. I have 193 people. I want you guys to understand something. If you do some research on femicide in Mexico and acquittal, the acquittal rate is very high with femicide when there are processing issues. And keep this in mind. We talked about this in the interview with Danny Robertson and the medical doctor, the forensic medical examiner. He said that this case in particular had wrongdoing of processes all over the place from the time that they got there in the scene, not knowing what happened, time of death, to what happened in the forensics office, all this stuff. So prosecution wise and processing wise, forensic wise, did they do everything the way they were supposed to do? No, they fucked up. They fucked up big time. Mexico did. So this case right now is classified as femicide, right? And if you look at the acquittal rate, look at the acquittal rate of femicide in Mexico, and that'll tell you everything. So this is why we need to continue to stay on their necks as far as not just Mexico, not just the Cabo Six, but honestly, everyone. Everyone. Shamina, he would need to clear out this information before I even allow him back in here. That was my biggest conflict with that man. But he is saying that there is an arrest. I don't know. Yep. There's massive issues there. So femicide has a huge acquittal rate, especially if it pertains to the way in which things were handled and processed. Keep that in mind, okay?
Mexican law enforcement has requested the suspect be extradited back across the border so she can face charges. That would require U.S. authorities to hand over an American citizen to a foreign government.
She is going to have to be extradited to Mexico. I do see that happening.
Deborah Blum is a criminal defense attorney in New York. Blum says while she expects the extradition to happen, it could be a process to get it done.
They're going to have their day in court where the person that's accused of this gets to say, I don't agree to extradition, and then they get to have a judicial hearing in front of the judge.
The FBI has also opened an investigation into Robinson's death.
Thank God in heaven the FBI is on it. Okay, everything you just heard by that lawyer it's a technical legal term. It's Latin. It's called BS. You might be familiar with that because Irv Brandt joining me from the U.S. Marshal Service. Isn't it true extradition is not the killer's, quote, day in court. That's when you have a jury to determine if you're guilty or innocent. And extradition is real easy. Let's just pretend Jackie Howard over there is a killer, and I find her holed up under her mama's bed in Tennessee.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't have a court hearing about guilt or innocence. I drag her to a Tennessee court, and in my other hand, I have an extradition. It's one piece of paper signed by the governor of Georgia
makes it sound
saying
so
Jackie
easy. Is it really
is
that
wanted
easy?
for murder. All I have to do, Irv Brandt, is drag her from under her mom's bed to a courtroom in Tennessee and say, Judge, here's the governor's extradition order. This is Jackie Howard. And then the governor asks her, the judge asks her one question, are you Jackie Howard? If she says yes, she's gone on the next jail bus to Georgia.
Oh, Lord.
If she says no, then I get to do a fingerprint kit on her right there in court. And
shout out to everybody from Georgia. I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to ask you guys if you guys want to check the rest of Nancy Grace podcast. Check out Truth Teller Danny, who is her channel name is right here. She's right on my comments. I picked her right now. You guys go check her out so you can watch the whole podcast. I'm going to stop right here because I have to move to the other topics. And we'll definitely follow up and revisit to this particular justice for Shanquella. Part of it is because I have to be able to touch the other stuff. But I have a comment here that I kind of want to highlight. My understanding is that the charges need to be reclassified before there's any chance of extradition. It has to be the same charge in the U.S. as Mexico, and femicide doesn't exist in the U.S. Kate, femicide does not exist in the U.S., but I don't believe that everything is accurate in that. I don't think the similarities would have to be so the same. But I don't know. I'd have to look into that. You heard that from an international law expert. I will follow up. Okay, let me follow up on that. But that's a great comment. I had no clue. Although I can't guarantee what conditions they will arrive. Right. Did you guys pick that up? We cannot guarantee what conditions they will arrive. As far as the Cabo 6. Hey Bossy, welcome. I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's a lot. I don't know. So we just have to be mindful. I continue to pray for this family because this family needs it. Absolutely. I think that people need to understand that we need to continue to talk about Shanquella. We need to continue to bring justice and shake the tables as it pertains to Shanquella and bringing justice to her, because there's going to be a time where there's nothing happening, right? Or we don't have any updates, and we need to make sure that we are active, right? If you have a platform, I have a platform, we continue to talk about it. And again, talk about it in the way in which is respectful to the family. If you were in Shanquella's position or her family, her mother, her father, her sister, what would you want to happen to yours, right? Think of it that way. Instead of spewing lies, misinformation, and attacking the family, which people default to that when there's a click and a view behind that, it's unfortunate, but it does happen. We need to make sure that we are on it, you know? And in my Down the Rabbit Hole News, on my platform, we will continue to support the family and, do our best to bring the most accurate information as we can. Okay. Absolutely. As a nurse, I said this one day, she was internally decapitated. That is a quick but absolute horrible death. I can't watch the video. It's heartbreaking. It is. And when I heard him say those words, and you guys heard it here. For whatever reason, it's like in my head, and I can't get them out, because you sat there while your friend was killed. There is no accident. There is no accident whatsoever. Absolutely. I wonder if anyone worthy and credible will interview Zuninga again to ask for those clarifying questions to give a chance to see what he will be. Because Shamina, here's my biggest turnoff. I'll be honest with you. If somebody questioned my credibility on something, you better believe that I would be on point. I wouldn't take the route of allowing everybody to figure it out, especially if I'm the one that broke the news. And that's just my stance. I feel like right now he is in this position of, I don't know, thinking that he might bring more information. Some of it might be accurate and some of it may not be, but I just don't know why he feels like Why is he sitting on that information the way that he is, especially if it's not, he's the journalist. He's the one with X amount of years of whatever. I don't know. I feel kind of conflicted about him sometimes, but yeah. Yes, yes. But anyways, guys, let us move to the next. And I hate I don't know. It just bothers me so much as far as this goes, this topic. But we're going to continue to talk about Shanquella, justice for Shanquella. Make sure you guys check out the petition. Check out Danny Robertson's channel, Truth Teller Danny. If I can have a mod, just drop the link in the chat. That would be awesome. Because I know that Danny's going to be dropping some really good information here coming up. And you don't want to miss it. Okay? You do not want to miss it. Now, I want us to transition to the next topic real quick, but I kind of feel like I need a little break to transition over to that because it weighs on me a little bit heavy when it comes to Shanquella, especially when I hear about all this stuff that happened to her. Let me go ahead and play a little commercial break as we transition. Thank you, Read This, for putting the link in the chat. You guys make sure you check out Truth Teller Danny. All right, you guys, we got to transition over to this Moscow murders thing that was next on our poll, which ended at 22%. Let me hit in on this poll because I think we've figured out what we're talking about first, right? This right here, I kind of want to talk about because we talked a little bit about it. Look,
new details now.
This morning, you guys were like, listen, they found the car. It's the car. It's not the car. They're interested in the car. But here, now you have the news, the media talking about it. And shout out, I believe Pascal might have even talked about it already, if not about it. Let's see. We have now a source that says Moscow murder police say car found in Oregon belongs to someone in Colorado. Well,
the investigation into the murders of 4 University of Idaho students in Moscow. A crashed white Hyundai Elantra was found in Eugene, Oregon. Claims of the car being connected to the murders that happened in Moscow over a month ago started appearing online. These are photos of the car in Oregon. Eugene police responded to a call of a person sleeping in the car last Saturday night. They say there's no reason to believe the Elantra is connected to the Moscow murders, but they did send details about the car to Moscow police. Idaho State Police confirmed to KTBB that the car found wrecked in Eugene belongs to a person in Colorado. Moscow police say they are aware of the Elantra in Eugene and are working with the jurisdiction there in Oregon to see if it's related to the murder case. Last week, Moscow police alerted the public that they were looking for a 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra with unknown license plates seen near the King Road home where the murders happened. Investigators believe whoever was in that car in Moscow may have critical information for investigators.
Okay.
Moscow police say they have received 10,000 tips related to the investigation.
Bree. So get this, guys. I got a little receipt right here, but I can't show it because it would dox. And I'm not doxing here. But somebody messaged me. Shout out to this person. He's a Redditor. Okay. And they know who they are. A Redditor said to me, 2 people are from Colorado that live near the house. Ooh, what? Okay. A Redditor sent this to me. It was a screenshot of what's going on right now. It says 100% confirmed. Blank is or was the owner of that abandoned 2013 White Hydundai Elantra in Oregon. He is also 100% the property manager for the murder house. The guy is either going down or someone else stole his car. These receipts, shout out to Reddit, by the way. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to make of it. There was a statement released saying it's not related. Okay. It's not related. Thank you so much, read this. Yes, 142 likes. Can we get to 180? Please and thank you. Peekaboo's got their eyes open. Look, I saw a comment saying that the car belongs to the guy who actually owns the Keene Road home. Drip dry. That's what I just read. Somebody send me that too. Now, we don't know. You think a TikTok, Jen says, I think a TikToker spread that information. She apologized and took the video down. Do you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how much truth there is to that. Brienne, look. That's where I'm at right now. Thank you. Until law enforcement makes a statement, it's leaked info, always a red flag. Yeah, Petty, I agree with you on that one. I definitely agree with you on that. What do you guys think, though? Let me read it one more time, and you tell me what your thoughts are. A lot of you guys are saying it's misinformation. Potentially, I don't know, because I'm like, get this information over to law enforcement. This is Plunder says not related. Okay, got you. And I like Plunder, too. Drip dry, I want to know. This is what it was said. It said that 100% confirmed. 100% confirmed. This is what they are writing. I think it's speculation. There was a statement that said it was not related. Thank you, Bossy. But I definitely think it's speculation. Blank blank is or was the owner of the abandoned 2013 White Hydundai Elantra in Oregon. He is also 100% the property manager for the murder house. This guy is either going down or someone stole his car. I don't know. Yeah, Paul is very trustworthy. I love Plunder. Shout out to Plunder. I like them too. Thank you, thank you. Shout out to you, Lexi. Thank you for coming. So I don't know, guys. I mean, clearly there continues to be this push. I'm going to go with whatever law enforcement says at this point. I think that's all we have, right, Lady Webbs? Thank you so much. And let's go over to Court TV. Court TV is not my favorite, because they kind of rubbed me the wrong way when they got Shanquella's picture wrong. But for the purposes of this, we're going to talk about Court TV right now. So about 6 days ago, and I don't know how I feel about this topic, okay? We're going to transition over to Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I have not covered Johnny Depp or Amber Heard for various reasons. Number one, I don't want to get flagged. Number two, I don't feel like I have the resources not to get flagged. My understanding is that both Popcorn Planet and various other, I think the Umbrella Guy was another channel. There's a lot of channels. Nerd Planet was another one that when they were covering this case that were getting reported. And the case does kind of make my head spin a little bit. Not only that, it kind of makes me a little upset too, in the sense that I don't know how to feel about it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to feel about it sometimes. But yeah. Yes, thank you. The case makes your hate. Well, I agree. Hey, Chico, welcome. I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? Where do you guys land with this Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case? Now remember, they settled today. Okay, Amber Heard has settled her defamation case against ex-husband Johnny Depp. She announced on Monday on Instagram. She wrote the longest Instagram post. This was about a day ago. But one thing that was said here that really I wanted to talk about in this channel, because we talk about victims, was how they express themselves in terms of the Me Too movement and victims, and the situation with Amber Heard being found as someone that defamed Johnny Depp.
Is a very specific factual statement. It's not saying generally she lied about being abused. It is saying on this specific night, she did these specific things. And so that can be false, while the claims of abuse overall can be false as well.
There was a published letter by 130 experts
This
in
right here.
intimate partner violence, domestic abuse type of experts who signed this letter in support of Amber Heard post-verdict, months later, saying that there was this misunderstanding of what the cycle of violence would be and how a victim of domestic abuse would act or come across. What's your reaction to that show of support for Amber Heard?
I think that this is a delicate subject, and I think that there's a natural inclination of people to want to take allegations of abuse seriously. And we all do on this team, and Johnny does take allegations of abuse seriously. I think the core here is that this case was really just about these two people and what happened between these two people. And the evidence that was presented at trial, I think, convinced the jury and convinced a lot of people in the public that Johnny Depp is not an abuser.
Amber Heard released a statement after the verdict, and she's done an interview and even in her appellate brief talking about how this verdict has a chilling effect on possibly discouraging women who are victims of domestic abuse from coming forward afraid of exercising their First Amendment right because of backlash and of facing defamation lawsuits. What's your response to that?
I disagree. I think that the system worked. She just didn't get the outcome she had hoped for. She had her day in court. She had her opportunity to tell her truth. The jury didn't believe her.
Your team has stated.
Ooh-wee. It was a lot to kind of get there. But Twinkle Tits McGee says that published letter was such a blatant piece of BS, and I'm a male survivor of domestic abuse and sexual abuse. Okay. That's, first of all, it's very hard in society for people to accept the fact that men can also be victims of domestic abuse and sexual assault. And until we can cross that bridge, because it does happen, men can also become victims. It's going to be forever a fight with a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? It really is. I definitely believe that this was a very toxic relationship and they should have been divorced a long time ago, right? And the defamation should have been stopped a long time ago. I don't know, guys. MobTube went crazy over this case. #justice had just made my skin crawl. Abuse doesn't have gender. Absolutely. And that's the biggest thing. Abuse does not have gender. Okay? Men can be victims. Women can be victims. Yes. They can victimize each other. It happens a lot. And until we can get into that mind frame to say, people, both sexes can be victims. Hopefully one day we'll get there. But we're in this society and we're still battling different things as a society that it's going to take us a long time to get there. It really is. I don't know. I don't think there's very many victims that are going to say they believe Amber Heard, so they're not going to believe me. I just don't see it. Got you bowling with cotton balls. It's a lot. It's a lot, you guys. And so I wanted to play this because I do talk about victims, and I don't feel like I'm doing a good service to this case by I watched it. And shout out to Popcorn Planet because I always watched them too while this was going on Court TV. I wouldn't be doing a good service to this case if I only if I just started now talking about it, and I'm not going to. But I wanted to play this piece because I think it's very telling to victims that both men and women can be victims, and that once we reach to that point and that peak, we might actually get somewhere in society. I don't know. But let me know what you guys think. And you guys are going in on these comments. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm looking, guys. I am looking. I wanted to do, before I head out, I wanted to do a little rabbit twerking for Tinkle Tits again. Thank you so much. This is for you, my friend. Where is it at? Right here. Thank you. You guys, you guys are still going in on these comments. No victim acts like she, cause time to get stronger. Real abuse, that crap takes therapy to get strong. Absolutely. Yes, love the rabbit's work. They believe the victims of Hollywood rapists convicts, he's rotting in jail. I mean, guys, like I said, it's a longer conversation, and maybe one day we will have it. But shout out to everybody in the chat. I am gonna head out because Baby Bunny is calling for me. I want to thank everybody. Look, Gumby's already throwing tomatoes. Gumby's like, listen, I'm gonna throw tomatoes at the chat. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you leave a comment, and I really want to thank all of you guys for being here tonight. I have to head out. All right, rabbits out, guys.